should have one page that's already basically roughed in because we've been working on that in class. And by rough in, I mean you've decided how it's going to be laid out based on your wireframe. So in here I've uploaded a photo. I have a title here, and then I have some subtitles, and I have my text for my about page. Now the problem is I look at this and I think I want to edit it, and I want to make some changes here, and there's a few different ways that we can do this. And so the problem is that you need to know all of the ways that you can do this. So if I want to edit from the template, so I'm using the Hestia template. If I wanted to edit from the template, I would click on Customize. And here I am doing editing directly in the template as opposed to editing within Elementor. And so here I'm going to be able to do things. I can put a logo on here, like my logo up there. We can work on appearance settings. We can choose fonts, and here you can upload what fonts you would like to have. And depending on your particular template, your theme, it will vary what you can and can't do. But some you can change. You have a pretty good variety of different fonts you can use. Some themes will let you upload new fonts, some won't. You can also decide on your font size so that you can customize all those different things. So this is editing within the template. We can also edit from Elementor. So if I'm in my regular dashboard here and I want to edit my about page, I can click on Edit with Elementor. And so now this will take me to the same place where I had loaded all of these different elements in, and I can edit in here. So let's look at a few different things. Let's say I want to change something about this. So I think, I kind of like what I have here, but I'm not sure it's great. So if I click on this edit button, I can change my text here. I can change size. I can change the alignment. So I can do those. I can also go to style and I can change my text color. I can edit the font. If I want to go with the default that I had decided on in the Hestia template customization, I can stick with that, or I can make a change if I would like to. So you have all these choices of what you can do here. Like right now it's on bold, but I could have it on normal, and then you can see it's now not as bold. Okay, so those are some things that we can do in here. And in advanced, so we can work on padding. So if we want it to be, that we can change what's going on here. So we can go like this and make some changes. Okay, so we can padding, so we're getting that more space around the word there. It's giving us more space. So if I like it, I'm going to hit update. Now there are other things I can do as well. If I want to edit what's kind of behind my text here, I'm going to click on this little button and I'm going to come to here. And so I can now align this box how I would like to. If I go to style, right now you can see I have a photo that's uploaded here. I don't have to do that though. I could just go with just a one color background if I'd like. I could also have no background. I could do a gradient, or I can stick with that color. I could stick with the photo, and I could make the photo so that it would be one so that it would just be one aspect of this instead of this is like a number of iterations of it. So if I went with default, it would be like that. But when set up close, it kind of looks like camo to me instead of animal print. So I change it to that. All right, so I'm just going to click update because that's what I'm going to stick with. So I have my title here, but now all of a sudden I'm looking at here and the Hestia theme puts a heading up here. And if you remember, let me go back for a moment. We're going to go back to dashboard and we're going to look at this page in a different way now. We're going to look at it here as if when we're editing not in Elementor. So this is the third way that we can edit here. And we don't want to just get rid of the title here. So I mean, I could technically just delete it and say update. And then if I go, and if I'm going to edit here, and let's just say I'm going to now refresh this page now that I've made a change, you'll see that it is going to be gone, or it should be gone. There, it's gone. You can't see it. But the problem is that the viewer can't see it, the person who's looking at the website, but also there is AI can't see it either, or artificial intelligence, SEO. So I actually don't want to have it deleted from here. I just want to have it where viewers can't see it, but I want it so that it can be seen by users who are coming to my website. So let me go back here and I'm going to refresh again so we see that it has appeared again. And we'll give it a second. Elementor is working very hard today. Good job, Elementor. You can do it. All right. Something I can do is if I come to the bottom of this Elementor window, there's a little gear down here called Settings. And I can choose, usually the default, this is off. I can choose to have it on, in which it should hide this, but as you could tell I had that turned on before and it wasn't working. So that's not ideal. That means the person who designed the Hestia template, the Hestia theme, has done so in a way that it's not, that just choosing this doesn't actually work. So we're going to have to now figure out what uh, what this is called, because whatever code that's in here that Elementor has to hide a title, obviously Elementor has named the title one thing, or maybe it's not obvious, but what has happened is Elementor has decided the title should be named one thing, and the person who created the template has decided that it's named something else. So just clicking on this button in my template doesn't work. It would work for lots of them, but it just doesn't work in mine. So we have to figure out what it is called. So I am going to go to my web page and tell you what, I am just going to go to where I can see here. So I don't have any editing open. And I am going to open up in Chrome. I'm going to be using my development tools. Okay, here it is. I don't use Chrome that often. I usually use Safari, but I'm in Chrome today. So at the top of your screen with where you see Chrome, under View, is developer, and if you don't have this, you can add it. So developer, and I want to inspect elements. So this means I can click on this and find out what it's named. So I find out that this is named, it's a heading 1, H1, and it's named Hestia Title. Okay, so I need to remember that Hestia Title because I'm going to have to go back into Elementor and let it know that it needs to hide Hestia Title. So we are going to now take a look and figure out what Elementor is calling it, since Elementor is not naming it Hestia Title. So I'm clicking over on the burger menu, and we're going to go to Site Settings. And under Site Settings, I am going to go to Layout. And see, it's calling it Entry Title. And I don't want it to call it Entry Title. So we are going to call it Hestia Title, just like what we had seen that it's called here, Hestia Title. And let me make sure I wrote that right, Hestia Title. All right, we are going to update this. So now we're good with that. And now if we go back into our settings, we can see that our hide title is working now. So sometimes you really just have to pay attention to what the developer of your template did in order to edit it correctly, just because it seems like it should work a different way. Like probably the developer of Hestia probably should have named it the same thing that most templates are named to make it easier to edit. But he or she didn't. And that's just what we got to live with. And so we just have to figure out workarounds. The other thing that I could have done, if I go into, and here I'm now going to get out of my developer tools, and if I was going to customize in the Hestia template, you can make some changes in here as well as you're trying to make some changes. So you might be able to work within here to change some of the things such as the titles. And there is a section called Additional CSS, in which it's the short code in which we can write the code to change things. But the interesting thing is, so like I had done at first when I was wanting to erase this about, I had done the typical short code which it was called an entry title, and it didn't work. I even did it twice because, if it didn't work once, maybe a second time will be better. But if I now call it a Hestia title, my short code worked there too. So either way, I have now found two ways to get rid of that title for the people who are looking at it, but it is still in my SEO on the end where our AI or artificial intelligence can see it. All right, get to work on your page and trying to make some changes, play around. There's a lot of things you can do, whether you're customizing within your template or in Elementor. Just give it a try. New things, exciting, have fun.